South, along with their mother Beatrice and the young alchemist Lucas, reaching places still spared by the devouring plague, the raging wars, and the rabid rats that are running rampant in the north.
Is that a fair?
Beneath the warm sun of 14th century Provence, the Daroons are almost able to enjoy a normal life.
You're great! Yeah!
But for a recurrent dream that Hugo has been having.
A Plague Tale: Requiem is an upcoming stealth action-adventure video game developed by Asobo Studio and published by Focus Entertainment. After escaping their devastated homeland, Amicia and Hugo travel far south to new regions and vibrant cities. There, they attempt to start a new life and control Hugo's curse. But when Hugo's powers reawaken, death and destruction return in a flood of devouring rats. Initial release date: October 18, 2022. Mode: single-player video game. Developer: Asobo Studio. Series: A Plague Tale. Publisher: Focus Home Interactive. Platforms: PlayStation 5, Xbox Series 10 and S Series, Nintendo Switch, Microsoft Windows. Genre: action-adventure game, stealth game.
Her mind is made up. She will find a cure in what dreams and prophecy may hold.
Get used to it.
With almost no one they can trust,
This is your life now.
Amicia and Hugo must traverse land and water as restless forces stand against them.
Amicia, you all right?
After the events of last winter, Amicia is hardened, experienced, and when backed against the wall, can be surprisingly resourceful. With several new tricks up her sleeve, she is now able to freely choose between striking from the shadows or unleashing hell with a variety of equipment and tools.
Star Ocean: The Divine Force is an upcoming action role-playing game developed by Tri-Ace and published by Square Enix. For the first time since Star Ocean, the Scorn story, multiple protagonists will be featured. The events of the story will unfold from a unique perspective depending on who the player chooses. Raymond's perception offers more sci-fi lore, while Letitia focuses more on fantasy elements. Partners joining the party will differ depending on the protagonist chosen, and both have endings dedicated to all party members. It will be released for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox One, and Xbox Series 10s on October 27, 2022. Initial release date: 2022. Mode: single-player video game. Series: Star Ocean. Platform: PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox Series 10 and Series S, Microsoft Windows. Developer: Tri-Ace, Square Enix. Genre: action role-playing game, adventure game, fighting game. Publisher: Square Enix, Eidos Interactive.
What is that thing?
Scorpion, our home, was subtly, yet irreversibly infiltrated by Scorpion.
Everything is in such chaos at present. It is nigh impossible to discern friend from foe.
I swear to you that all I speak here is absolutely true, including the fact that I came here to help.
What is this bull?
We have no sufficient proof that this ragtag band that follows you are not in actuality.
Overwatch 2 will feature deeper story-based gameplay at some point in 2023, where players fight against AI enemies rather than other players. The story missions will feature co-op play, similar to some of the first Overwatch seasonal events, complete with dialogue, cutscenes, and other story beats. Overwatch 2 is an upcoming first-person shooter developed and published by Blizzard Entertainment. Initial release date: October 4, 2022. Developer: Blizzard Entertainment. Mode: multiplayer video game. Series: Overwatch. Genre: first-person shooter. Publisher: Blizzard Entertainment. Platforms: PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series 10 and Series S, Microsoft Windows.
Yippee-ki-yay!
Boom, baby!
Check me out. Do something!
Get in there! It takes a team to tango.
Scorn is an atmospheric first-person horror adventure game set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. It is designed around the idea of being thrown into the world, isolated and lost inside this dreamlike world. You will explore different interconnected regions in a non-linear fashion. Initial release date: October 21st, 2022. Mode: single-player video game. Designer: Lubomir Pekler. Developer: Ebb Software. Genres: adventure games, shooting games, survival horror, independent video games, puzzle games, platform. Xbox Series 10 and Series S, Microsoft Windows. Publishers: Ebb Software, Kepler Interactive.
Yvette and Lustmord. Scorn has no dialogue, so most of the storytelling comes from the environment, discovering the ever-present symbiotic relationships and how things are connected equips you with the tools to progress. While there is shooting within the game, Scorn is not a shooter. Every encounter must be carefully considered. A wrong choice could be.
Asterix, Curse of the Stars. Genre: action, adventure, RPG. In a time where the Souls-like genre's influence can be felt in just about every action RPG, it's easy for the plethora of challenging adventures to blend together in a montage of death screens. Asterix, Curse of the Stars is a cartoonish odyssey inspired by Greek and Roman mythology, with a stripped-down version of the Souls-like formula at its center. And while at first I thought its formula might feel a bit too familiar, it ended up surprising me with consequential decisions in each act that made me lean forward in my chair. I'm used to being punished for my foolhardy behavior with numerous character deaths, but it was another thing entirely when my questionable decisions had an adverse impact on the story, and that raised the stakes for me in an extremely refreshing way. Developer: Acme Game Studio. Publisher: Tiny Build. Release date: October 11. Initial release date: December 2022. Publisher: Tiny Build. Genre: computer role-playing, action game, adventure game, fighting game, adventure. Platforms: PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Microsoft Windows, Xbox Series 10 and S Series, PlayStation 5. Developer: Acme Game Studio, Acme Game Studio Limited. The Last Oricru is a story-driven action RPG that puts you in the middle of an ongoing conflict between two races on a partly terraformed planet, isolated from outer space by a protective barrier. Your decisions will bring interesting twists into the gameplay, as you can heavily influence the conflict and its outcome. You will experience hundreds of intense fights in a brutal medieval meets sci-fi world, where every decision has its consequences. Level up your hero, improve your skills before facing one of many boss fights, and get ready for an unprecedented amount of possibilities. Initial release date: October 13th, 2022. Developer: Vulcanites. Genres: computer role-playing games, action games, adventure games, fighting games, platforms. Microsoft Windows, Xbox Series 10 and S Series, PlayStation 5. Publisher: Pre-Matter. Class:
You're everything I hoped for. I believe you're now ready for the truth.
Dragon Ball. The Breakers producer Ryosuke Hara has shared more information about the game, including what to expect from the story and single player. This comes as part of a recently published interview from Bandai Namco. As for the story in Dragon Ball: The Breakers, Hara had this to say: the protagonists are ordinary civilians who are suddenly caught in a temporal phenomenon. These civilians find themselves in what's called a temporal seam, a world with time and place is mixed together. Unlike the famous heroes from Dragon Ball, these survivors don't own superhuman powers, but several countermeasures are prepared by the Time Patrollers, an organization well known from the Xenoverse series. With the help from the Time Patrollers, the survivors must find a way to put a stop to the famous Dragon Ball villains and make an escape from the temporal seam. Hera confirmed that you won't be playing as any of the Z-Warriors like Goku. However, those playing as survivors will be able to borrow their power through the Transpheres. Hera also noted that when the survivors use the Dragon Balls to summon Shenron and have their wish granted, They will be able to go up against the Raider with a power equal to Goku's and other Z-Warriors. Initial release date: December 3rd, 2021. Developer: Dimps. Platforms: Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series 10 and Series S, Microsoft Windows. Publisher: Bandai Namco Entertainment, Bandai and AMCO Entertainment America Inc. Genre: action game, fighting game, casual game, adventure.